I actually like the responses from both teams. On one side, Winstrike got the line. Now you have a way to deal with the Ember Spirit, right? And you have another hero to set up for the relocate. Also, Slardar can lane quite nicely with the Lion. Lion, he might not have the damage, but he has the lockdown, and we know who's going to be doing the damage if it does come to the Slardar Lion lane. So they're keeping it open in that regard. And on the other side, HYDRA, they respond with the Magnus, which is definitely a comfort hero for Blizzy. And then they go into the Bane, which is always going to be a good one. You see the relocate coming. If there's one guy who is setting it up, you get the sleep on that guy, and then a Fiend's Grip on the one that the IO is coming in with, and it's going to be an easy fight for you. Winstrike immediately respond with the Storm Spirit because there needs to be someone to catch that Bane, and obviously against an Ember Spirit who is a melee hero, he will be doing well in the laning phase as well.
Well, with the final bans kicking in, which heroes would you kind of like to pick on both sides for HYDRA and for Winstrike? Because if I look at HYDRA, who has the first pick, for example, we already have some team fight, we have some setup, we have a way of controlling the IO and the Slardar. We don't necessarily have a tool against the Storm Spirit, except for the roots on the Ember Spirit. Would you sacrifice another hero to hold him in place? Because Ember Storm's most likely going to be your mid matchup, unless Monkey King ends up being the support, Ember goes mid, and then we're still looking for a carry for HYDRA. I don't think this carry pick is even going to respond to this Storm Spirit anymore.
10 seconds to pick.
Well, I don't think the carry...
5 seconds.
Monkey could be the carry. You know, position 4 for HYDRA could be needed here just to have some extra lockdown. But in the end, I would not want to see the Monkey King on position 1 against the Slardar. Even if you get your Jingu stacks, there is a good chance you die. On the side of Winstrike, though, I think they would like to go for heavy physical damage, right? Something that goes well with the Slardar. A PA immediately comes to mind, because look at this lineup on the side of HYDRA. Whoever gets marked up by the Slardar, he would instantly get destroyed by the PA. There is absolutely no one who can survive that one. So I would like to see something like that, something that can jump in and deal massive amounts of damage. So the PA is my first pick, but also you have the Slark open. There is just so many ways for Winstrike to end this draft on a good note.
Well, definitely some options on HYDRA. Taking their sweet time with it. Razor and PA are their final options for bans. The Troll by Winstrike, and they will get to ban one more away from HYDRA. A lot of carries have been banned by both sides.
I think you get rid of the Drow. Drow looks pretty solid for HYDRA. It wins the lane against the Slardar. The silence for the Storm Spirit is pretty solid. The Monkey King gives you vision throughout the whole game, so you're gonna have info on what's going around on the map. So it looks like a pretty decent pick, and I think you need to protect your Slardar in the laning phase. I think that's the important thing for Winstrike here. But they ban out the Sven. Yeah. Extra armor for everyone in the team. That's gonna be their way to go.
But I'm kind of feeling like, now that you're looking up at how these lanes are going to go for HYDRA, you would usually think the Bane is a 5, but actually Muka does play quite a lot of Bane if Zayats doesn't want to pull it off, and this Monkey King would be a +5 in that case. I'm thinking, if you want to pull off the best out of this Magnus, you use it to synchronize with the Monkey King. You put Monkey King as a carry, and you pick your last support now, because I feel like they need to answer with a bit more control and rely with the Monkey King, Ember, Magnus, triple melee cores for HYDRA. That's just me. That's the way that I would like to think this scenario through. And it looks like I'm correct, because this Mirana is most likely going to be a support, and that's looking like it's going to be Muka's pick, and Zayat's playing the Bane on the 5.
Yeah, we forgot about the Mirana, given that they played it earlier. This kind of opens up, even if the Monkey King starts getting pressured by the Slardar, you always have a sleep into arrow rotation coming out just from your support. And with the Ember Spirit in the mid lane, he gets an early point in chains. The Storm Spirit could be in trouble, and considering he's the guy that should be winning the lane, he's gonna have to play a bit more defensively when the Mirana is missing from the map. So I'm liking this from HYDRA. Again, their draft makes a lot of sense. It only comes down to if this Monkey King does get crushed in the lane. If you are getting destroyed, it's gonna be a problem, but I kind of feel like the Bane is gonna be good enough to keep him in somewhat an okay
because that's what I was kind of thinking with the Drow pick. Like, I can see where it works, but I also see that it doesn't synergize as well with the picks on your team. Like, it's good against the opponent's team, but what does the Magnus provide then? Because then the Empower just kind of diminishes in their hands a little bit. So it does leave Winstrike the opportunity to pick up a hero that will go unanswered most likely, and it will be the Slark for the Huck.
Yeah, I'm loving the Slark here. Slark is basically good against every Hydra hero, right? You have no reliable lockdown that you just click and you're gonna be able to catch him, apart from, of course, from the Bane ulti. But this Slark is always gonna know that something is up. I'm just curious to see what the Hawk will go for items. I'm hoping for an Aghanim Scepter. It's something that I saw Paparazzi play in EU pubs. He was constantly buying a Aghanim Scepter. Is it Falcon Blade into Ags? Maybe an Echo Saber, then he disassembles it into Ags. I just want to see this thing because he's not going to be lacking damage considering he has a Slardar. This time around, I'm liking the Winstrike's lineup a bit more. Hydra, they definitely have ways to set up for the arrow, but Slardar, Io in the lane, the Slark is going to have a solid time as well, and the Storm Spirit wins against the Ember Spirit. I kind of feel like they could run over Hydra easily in this one.
They could, and this Slark just feels like it could go completely unanswered with so many tools against the abilities from Hydra. You can Dark Pact off anything that they throw in your way. You can easily get your way out of a Fiend script. You could dodge an RP with it. And it's, you know, it just feels like it's a very slippery hero. But how does he go out in the laning stage? I think that's really important to see, that if this Slark goes strong against this Magnus, if Magnus gets shut down in lane, I don't feel like we have a late game future at all for Hydra.
I saw that the Wisp is being played by their position 4. I would actually lane the Wisp with the Slark. Slark is like the Slardar, he has a ton of damage, but he lacks regen, right? And the Monkey King, he doesn't care that much about the regen because at some point with 2 points in Jingu, he's gonna be doing so much to the Slardar, right? So in my mind, I would put the line against the Monkey King, not to allow him to get those Jingu stacks, and put the Wisp with the Slark, but it seems like that's not gonna be the case here for Winstrike. So still, I just think if the line brings out so much regen, that the Slark will be able to dominate the top lane.
Zayats will be able to dodge 3 of Winstrike's heroes making their way towards this bottom half of the map. We do have a hard cap being blocked. And the Monkey King also scouting out for a ward, but Seneko spotted him. Did he spot the ward though? And Dream is also going to get surprised from behind.
Yeah, this is the reason why Slark is going with them, is because he has night vision, and then he's just kind of opening up the space for the Slardar and the Io to go forward. But they won't be finding anything, even though Zayats was closer to death there than he would have liked, but he wasn't aware of it. Neither were his enemies though.
So we do get to start very calmly. The Observer ward also got denied. Or not denied, but actually taken away by the Hux. So a bit of extra gold for the Slark to go with. Extra 100 is really nice to go into the laning stage with. And would you look at Blizzy's double Bracer Magnus? A lot of HP regen for him.
Interesting. I kind of would like to see him spamming spells here. The way you play against the Slark is that you keep him at half HP so that he can't hit you. If you have a billion HP yourself, you're just gonna be giving him the Essence Shift stacks, and at some point you will have to get yourself away. So I'm curious to see how well this is gonna work out for him, especially because he started off with the Empower, and we see that it's not gonna be the best.
Yeah, it's not the best to start off with, but again, I think this is where the Mirana really outshines in a way, with that XP being picked up by throwing arrows onto range creeps and securing that early plus 30, plus 40, plus 50 experience. So if they can just keep that up, I think Mirana will be getting that level 2 secured. You've got Skewer / Shockwave. Which one would you go for, actually? Would you go for Skewer into Arrow? Would you pick up Shockwave to harass the Slark and secure last hits?
I think the Skewer itself doesn't do that much without the Shockwave. So I think he should go for the Shockwave. In my mind, it's weird that he even went for the Empower. I'd like both of those spells on level 2, given that Winstrike could push the lane here. Imagine a Shockwave into a Skewer into a tower, the Slark taking a ton of damage. That would be big. Yeah. But he decided to go for more damage and secure the last hits for himself. We'll see how well it works out in the end.
Yeah, it's true. It's a bit different than the build he went for game 1. Let me actually bring that up, because I remember him skipping Empower completely in the first game. So let me see if I can get that Magnus skill build from game number 1.
Yeah, while they're getting that, we're gonna be seeing the Hawk getting a few hits here, pulling the creep wave, and Muka will get pushed back. Mirana does have a healing salve, so Neko, he wasted his, but we're gonna be seeing a lot of regen coming out here. As I said, with the Slark in the lane, you just want to have so much regen, and he should be dominant.
Yeah. So level 4 Empower into max Empower, basically. So Shockwave, Skewer, Shockwave, 2 points in Empower, RP, 2 points in Empower, and then max out Skewer. It's basically the build that he went for. He will get that second point in Shockwave, so no Skewer. We're not one without the other.
I have to say, the Hawk missed a lot of CS in this lane. So did the Magnus, so they're kind of trading that one. And on this top lane, they're really seeing so much fight coming out. And so Neko gonna be the one taking the tail end of those trades. So Winstrike, they're pushed back. And this is a problem when the Slark is low, he really can't get close.
Yep. I think both sides kind of understand the importance of harassing the other, keeping your stats up while trading hits, trading spells. Already one Bracer up on the Magnus, 5.3 passive regen. Once he gets that second one, it's going to make his situation a bit better. Also, the last bits of regen, there's still one more salve on the Lion, and 3 tangos on the Mirana. We've been paying quite a very keen eye on this top lane, so let's take a glimpse on the other lanes as well. Ascol, Dodron, Storm versus the Ember. Pretty even, 13-14. Doesn't look like there's anything too special going on here.
Yeah, the other lanes are being a little bit pacifistic, so that's why we are focusing on the battle. But Storm having a little bit of an advantage, that's to be expected against the Ember, and Storm pretty much wins against any melee hero. They're, let's say, I don't know if you remember when the towers used to be a little bit farther apart in the mid lane. Yeah. There, in that situation, the Ember Spirit actually had a chance to outplay the Storm and kill him. Ever since they got closer to each other, that was 2 or 3 years ago, I don't even remember, it was a long time ago, the Storm Spirit became a definite winner of this lane, though I have to say Ascol is for now getting a lot of good CS here and keeping himself up there with the Storm.
Yeah, I can see 23 and 24. They're just neck and neck onto each other's Blizzy. Interesting interaction there. He didn't even actually have to do anything for the creeps to completely reset back to the lane. So those 2 tiny centaurs go back to their camp all alone. Nobody home. Wondering, where's Daddy? There's no Courser.
We should be seeing some action on the bottom lane very soon. Given that Slardar hit level 3, the Monkey King as well, they're probably gonna be trying to kill each other, and it's gonna come down to, can the Monkey King get the Jingu masteries and use the Boundless Strike on the creeps, get himself back up to full, or will Notice bash him to death, unless Hydra decide to evade the fight completely.
And again, I'm seeing a repeating pattern. Bane, again, 2 points in Nightmare, 1 point in Brain Sap. I think we're seeing a little bit of a change in meta, potentially, because this is the second Bane game that this happens, and I don't think it's because of reach. I mean, Io's just going to tether anyway into the target, unless they were trying to catch Slardar. Plus, I don't think you really have kill potential with the Monkey King Bane versus Io. Or Io's buddy, in this case, the Slardar. So yeah, I feel like there's a bit of a change in the air.
Yeah, when you go into analysis of it like that, you can see that Nightmare actually does triple the damage when you get second point, and Brain Sap only double the damage, so the value is the thing that the players are going for here. But Panda, I'm really sad about this game because it's 5 minutes in and we still haven't seen a kill.
Where's the kills? The Hawk, can you bring us the first blood in top? 160 HP? No, he's down to 100 still. No kill. We are being denied here, and I agree. These have been very interesting starts for these games because we ended up with usually, what, 10, 15 kills by the time we hit 10 minutes. But again, first 5, there's absolutely none.
I mean, there's big pressure now on my colleague to catch the first blood. Imagine if we wait 6, 7, 8 minutes and then we miss it. So no pressure, no pressure.
No pressure.
Right
okay,
now.
all good, all good. I'm just gonna, you know, just keep on spamming through. Okay, we're not gonna do that. I think we might have had a couple viewers with their eyes hurting right now. However, Force Majeure now arrives to say hello to Dodron. Try to grab the Illusion Rune while doing the tether animation, but still not going to be able to take it. Zayats will take it, and the Bounty Rune. Now a bit of a support battle. Actually, might be able to kill this Io, considering That nightmare
has to
damage.
sleep.
That is the pure damage. Does he have it? Is this the first blood we've been waiting for? Fairy Fire heal. And Monkey King jumps in. Dream will take first blood. And all because of Sayats. What that should honestly be a tip-worthy play for Bane. No tips, though.
Yeah, beautifully done from Zayats. He even had the illusions runes. They don't wake up the nightmare target, so that's why he did so much damage with it. But now the top lane Dodrin is going in.
The Remnant, the pounce from the Hawk, and that's going to be 1 permanent agility added into the Slark's bank. So 1 kill each now on both ends. And we did get that kill, and we also got 2 right away. Meanwhile, Ascult is farming some juicy stacks here inside his own jungle. Nice triple,
Yeah,
nice quadruple stack, actually.
That's gonna put him ahead of the Storm. So that's really nice for Hydra. Both of their cores are doing quite well. Sure, the Magnus is struggling, but he kind of expected that against the Slark. So the Blink Dagger might be late a little bit, but overall it's not gonna hurt his team that much, given that they do have the Ember Spirit and the Bane Mirana to set up for kills. That's a weird one. Muka has been very quiet in this one. Considering he has a Urn of Shadows, you would expect him to want to go and make a kill with the Bane, but for now, just deciding not to go for that one. So very weird decision from the Mirana.
Notice thinking about going on the Monkey King again. Just, well, tiny bit of a lag spike there. A bit of stuttering in the air. Might have just been a client-wide issue. Well, doesn't cause that not many problems. Looking at the Slardar's inventory, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming up. Muka's going to get jumped in middle. Ascult is there to help him out, but Dodrin, high ground miss on Muka. No, won't be enough for a kill. So Neko's going to lose his life, and the arrow, it was not luck, but skill, forcing Ascult to get himself the closer angle. Plus, he steals the Invis rune for the Storm Spirit, and he's going to go all the way. He's got 15 stick charges. He's got everything he needs. He's going to follow up with a Remnant, throws in another Slate, another Remnant jump, and he's going to pick up the double kill, and with style. Ascult.
Yeah, beautifully done. The only downside there for Hydra is that the Mirana didn't get no Urn charges, but I think they're going to be more than happy with this.
I think they're happy with it.
Yeah, they're definitely happy, and now forcing the mid lane tower Sleight of Fist chains. If this line gets too close, he could lose his life. They also have vision behind the tower. That's something that Winstrike could expect, but at least they're applying pressure on the bottom lane. Hydra, for now, definite winners of the early stages of the game, so it's up to Winstrike to start rotating. Who's going to be first? Is it going to be the Slardar? Is it going to be the Storm? Or maybe the Slark? But they need to get their cores together to fight.
Slark is going Soul Ring out of all items as well. I don't think I've ever seen this one before, but you feel free to open up a little bit.
Told you that the Hawk is the one to look about new meta items.
And, we might be creating quite a lot here. Raindrops will soak up the damage from the arrow, and he's looking to be fine. He's got his ulti up too, so this attempt from Hydra falls a bit short. Funny fact, Magnus has no points in Skewer. He's been maxing Empower, focusing more on the farming side of things. So won't have to doesn't have the capability of closing in the distance with a Skewer into RP and get that extra stun second for some more damage.
Okay, let's try to make sense of this Soul Ring. So the Slark needs mana. Okay. So Soul Ring deals with that. But you have a Falcon Blade, you have an Echo Saber, which are all awesome items for the Slark. So why is the Soul Ring better than it? I think I'm gonna be leaving that one to Dota experts. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Zayat goes down.
But nothing important's happening there. We need to crack down the mystery of the Soul Ring.
And I haven't been able to do it till now. Maybe it just amplifies his farm so much. We'll see how fast the Slark does get his items.
Like, as a farming item, I understand that you can constantly spam Dark Pact now. You can regenerate while you're out of vision, so it feels like it's maybe a bit more efficient than a Falcon Blade usually on your more traditional heroes who don't rely on HP, but instead rely more on having that mana being kept up. For Slark, he has a healing tool, which is unique for most parry heroes, that they don't have necessarily a healing tool to keep their sustainability in the jungles. Instead, you're just forced to buy 7 clarities. You know, the good old Shadow Fiend. You get shut down in mid, you buy 7 clarities, you go raising in the jungles. Well, I guess the Soul Ring does the same trick here, and I think he's just happily spamming Dark Pact over and over and over and over again, and he's still happy on health.
Okay, meanwhile, Slardar gets a Blink Dagger, so noticed he wants to make something happen. He actually went for a solo smoke, and the Hydra, they want to make a move of their own. So this Moonlight Shadow is definitely gonna protect them, Panda, and the Blink Dagger reveal, I don't even think it's gonna come out.
On the hunt, Bash loaded, everything ready. MLS runs out, Ascalt jumps on Dahak, perfect timing for notice. He needs to find the right target now. It's the Ember Spirit. He's gonna use the illusions, he's still gonna get the first hit. Bash, the RP comes as well. Monkey King is not even there. Ascalt also wants to die. I was looking at the MK's HP pool and I was like, wait a minute, he's just farming Ancients. Anyway, Ascalt killed, Winstrike will score a kill. That was the worst T-Tors I think I've ever done.
That was actually a pretty solid rotation from the Slar there.
It was.
I have to say, really going towards the top lane, just not looking at anything, thinking that something is going to happen to his Slark, and finally they do get a kill. It did take him a long time, but in the end they finish off the Ember. I don't know if you saw Saneko there. There were illusions of the Ember, and he wasn't sure who to finger. In the end, the Dark Pack killed the illusions, and he was able to finger the right one. That's why they got the kill. But the Ember Spirit, he wasn't that far off from surviving that one though. But Ascald in the end does go down, and that was the very, very farmed mid lane Ember Spirit that you do bring down. Who was the one getting the kill? It was Soneko, so not the best thing, but the fast Blink Dagger on the line is gonna make a difference, definitely.
Make it 3 for 3 now. 6 kills on board. We're at a 0.5 kills per minute, so very low average for sure. But it might start ramping up. We've seen these Blink Daggers. Blizzy is also close to his. He's been recovering nicely on the Magnus, keeping himself in the race. Let's just put it that way. He's not too far away from the rest of the cores, keeping it at least a fair competition. If he did not have Empower, I feel like Magnus would be completely dumpstered.
The Hawk went for the -1 second of the Dark Pack, so it does make sense given that he does have the Soul Ring and is going for a Shadow Blade first. So considering that the bottom tower did fall, it is going to put a strain on the economy of the supports of Hydra. Considering you have a Mirana, you probably won't be that mad about it. But Muka is going to need to help the Bane with the sentries if they want to keep this Slark in check once he does get it. So big items are coming out, and the fights should start happening for now. Though Hydra, they didn't take down any towers. It does give Winstrike a positioning advantage, and they're trying to use it right now with the move.
Yeah, and when it comes to innovation and coming up with these new builds and new things, I think okay, never mind. Let's go to that in just a tiny second. As the Ember Spirit is in trouble. With the relocate, they even secured this kill for Dodrin. Back to my original point with the Mag interview. We actually have talked this through off stream with you. Him talking about the Huck streams, for example, that he's very educational. He brings up these new perspectives and new ideas. And I guess you're in a status or state where you potentially have followers going up like, hey, that's actually a pretty great idea. Like, well, how did you come up with this? And honestly, I feel like this Soul Ring Slark with the -1 second Dark Pack cooldown has some thought to it. He's probably tried it out a few times and
he's getting a ton of farm. He's getting a ton of farm. His lane didn't go the worst, but didn't go the best. And Slark with the Dark Pack with constant mana, he can definitely get massive amounts of farm, and we're seeing the Hawk getting more and more done around the map. Also, a point that I wanted to make about Winstrike, how they're choosing their targets. The Ember Spirit is the best possible one to kill because he is the space creator for this Monkey King. If you're bringing him down, if you destroy his game, then the entirety of Hydra will not have a good time. I'm really liking that Winstrike is getting him down, though even with all of those 2 kills, he's still close to the top of the network chart.
I think that was a good point also brought up by the panel in our previous series, discussing that there's only so few players and talent to follow around and all the content that they make. So maybe the Hawk is the origin of the Soul Ring. Maybe it's somebody else. I mean, honestly, we're just humans. It's hard to figure out who in the end is the mastermind of one specific
We're gonna
build.
say that he is the mastermind because, as you said,
he's
we're
the one playing.
Story, so
he's the first Slark I've seen in a pub game build. I mean, in a competitive game. So I will consider this his. Though now he has that Shadow Blade building into a Yasha, and There's a DD rune for Ascult. Storm is coming in with a long jump. Not actually, but Notice is the one taking a long jump. Both the stuns at the RP into the arms of Blizzy. They've got the feed script, the combos, the connections. The Huck, even if you have your ulti, you're still inside the Monkey King ult. HYDRA looking to catch the Huck. Takes the Nightmare off his Notice, and the relocate away. Can they still catch this target? Looks like this closing the distance is going to be hard. Skewer still on cooldown from Magnus for a couple more seconds. They've got the high ground vision, but a really good turnaround there from HYDRA. Still, IO coming back will give them that second kill for HYDRA.
Yeah, very nicely done by HYDRA. It was a fight that they responded to. So usually you are not going to be that well prepared, but they're constantly around the triangle. Having the Magnus, it kind of allows you to rally around where the creeps are, and you're going to know that you're always somewhat defended there. Again, the Ember Spirit does die, but the Storm goes down as well, and I think it's a bigger kill for HYDRA, considering that this Storm Spirit, he needs to be massive. The Ember Spirit, even without that many items, he's gonna be okay, but working towards the BKB, I think that's go time for HYDRA once they do get those, because the Monkey King is close. I say close, he is done with it, and once the Ember does have it, the damage output of Winstrike, it's just not gonna be that easy to make it happen. If the BKBs come out, these guys will be free to do whatever they want inside of a fight.
Does Winstrike want to start to set themselves up for a potential smoke?
Okay,
yes, they do. Thank you for answering my question so swiftly, because this does look like they are hitting a pretty good timing, and actually it could look at a pretty good window for them too, because RP is also still on cooldown for another half a minute. Okay, Dodran's stun waiting. He just wants to go straight up in and look for the Mirana. The stun will go on to the Bane. Zayats is holding his ground, but the damage, the buyback comes in as well. He wants to make sure that he's still in this fight with his team. Dodran will find the kill on Muka. Dodran with another jump away. Soneko, however, he's very alone right now and should fall to Ascult and Dream. They've got plenty of damage to finish him off, and they will get that. Zayats looking for that Fiend script. Very short cast range, but can't find a target.
Winstrike will get away. They're trying to force something to happen because they know HYDRA are getting more farm with the Empower, and later on in the game this Monkey King can be very dangerous. Of course, the Slark is one of the better heroes to deal with everyone on the side of HYDRA, but still you went for the Shadow Blade. You want to make something happen, and for now the Hawk just isn't able to get the right jumps. Still, they do force out the buyback, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but that's without the RP, without the Wukong's command, without the Fiend's Grip, and now for HYDRA it's time to go. They will overtake Winstrike's part of the map, and if anyone even shows their nose, they're gonna be punched in it.
Doesn't look like we're gonna find any other irregularities of builds on these heroes. Looks like everything else is looking pretty standard. AC, BKB for the Slardar. Looks like he's got a Mask of Madness as well because he wants to max out that attack speed. Keep on bashing people, throwing the preliminary stuns, and make sure if he finds one target, he can perma-bash him for the entire fight. And that's going to have to address some attention from HYDRA, because if that Slardar continues to lock down one, they might even have to use something like Fiend Script on him. While Soneko, well, he's a bit unlucky with his warding run. He's unable to place any wards down.
I have to say HYDRA are doing a really good job at placing, and not only placing but protecting their wards. Against the Slark, there's really no reason to kind of hide the wards, put them in unconventional places. You need to put them on the high grounds where the fights are gonna happen and protect them, and they've been doing it very, very nicely, so well that Winstrike, they actually don't have the guts to go for D wards. Look at the ward close to the Rosh, and now this ward on the bottom lane, both giving them kills, both giving them fights, and now they're pinging out that ward again. HYDRA, they're expecting someone to come close. It's gonna be the Hawk. He wants to get it down. He might pay with his life. Nope, he's at least gonna get himself fast away from there. But it was a nice move from HYDRA, reading what Winstrike wanted to do.
Alright, the Hawk's got to be very careful now because they've applied vision. They've caught a glimpse of the Slark moving towards top, but can they find anybody else looming around the area? Doesn't look like for now. Soneko's in mid. Just gonna jump the Lion. He does get a pretty lucky stun because he was hitting the creep wave. Okay, absolutely zero mercy for this Lion. However, Ember Spirit, the bigger targets are awaiting. BKB popped by Ascult. The Hawk getting a couple hits in. IO is also here, and notice will be thrown into the air. The arrow doesn't quite connect, and Dream was looking for the slow as well, and they will have to sack the IO for this one. No RP though. should be able to get the kill on the Slardar. He's got nowhere to run now. His Blink Dagger also cancelled. They make sure that they find another one for HYDRA. Winstrike just can't quite take these fights. Can't get the coordination out either.
The problem with Winstrike is they don't have the blink on the line. That's what you have to be able to get these kills. The silence from the storm not gonna be that impactful any longer because the BKBs are out on the enemies. So this is looking really tough now for Winstrike. I have to say, HYDRA, they're playing a really good game of Dota. In the previous match, you could put it on draft, but right now they know exactly what they need to do, how they need to move, where they need to fight. And Winstrike, they have a lineup that's kind of all over the place. You need to go in, out with the Slark, same with the Slardar, same with the Storm. It's not easy to execute. Even though they have good ideas of how to fight, getting a good fight off is just way too tough for them at this point. And I'm not sure which item changes that. The Slark going for an SNY, pretty much it just comes down to their execution and them controlling the map, which Winstrike are trying to do at this point.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
HYDRA is now getting to force the glyph from Winstrike. It's going to be a couple-minute window as well for pushing if they want to focus these tier 2 towers down in top and mid. Start to think about Roshan. Glyph is always a very powerful tool for stalling pushes. But that also does mean that if HYDRA manages for example, take Roshan for themselves, that will leave Winstrike a bit defenseless, because then they're going to have to start sacking heroes instead of glyphs.
The smoke should be obvious though. From HYDRA.
Yeah.
It should be obvious that they're going around the map. Okay, that's a solid move, but without the death, so it's gonna take them a lot longer than they would like. And Winstrike though, can they even fight even if they know that this is happening? I'm not so certain. They have no team fight ultis.
They gotta hurry up.
They have a blink of the lion.
They gotta hurry up.
Roche is looking pretty much dead.
It is still nothing, though. It might still happen. Yeah, at least the Magnus is going to be a bait here. Monkey King ulti used, and Roshan is falling with 600 HP, but they're not going in. They're not going in yet. Roche is very low. They finally get it down the Aegis. Will fall, and looking for the kill onto the Magnus. At least Blizzy is dropping low, and the Hawk will get that kill. Now, onto the primary initiation. The BKB popped by Asgold, and just sucking onto this Lion, keeping him away from the fight. Meanwhile, Zayat's looking for the Fiend Script, but the Fiend Script has already been used. And Dream just hacking away. Winstrike looking for another kill, and potentially Muka will be the one to fall. It will take down the main as well, and it will be 3 gone from HYDRA. Dream and Asgold, do they have the damage to continue? Winstrike disengage before they get the opportunity to hack in. And that's a pretty costly loss for HYDRA. They do keep the Aegis up, but it's a 2 for 3 with one of the cores falling.
It goes to show that Winstrike 100% understand how their lineup needs to work, right? It's not about how strong the enemies are, it's how we start the fight. And they started off with the Slark getting a few stacks on the Magnus, a kill, and then just running down the supports as well. A lucky break in this one for HYDRA is that the IO had to use the relocate to save the Storm because he ate an arrow. He zipped in and he got an arrow instantly that was meant for the Slardar, you know? So that's the main reason why this fight didn't go worse for the side of HYDRA. They could have lost even more heroes if the Storm didn't have to get relocated out. They could have relocated out the Slardar, put all of the HP on him, and then Notice could have stayed longer and fought, but because of that arrow, it kind of changed the fight. So a little bit of luck coming out from HYDRA, and Winstrike finding a perfect engagement, but to be honest, it didn't end the best way for them, given that none of the cores of HYDRA have died, and the Aegis is in the hands of the Monkey King.
Dream doesn't know about the Hawk. He's right next to him. He's even taunting on the spot, and now he's going to go in. Force a fight, tries to force some attention. Oh, the jump from Dodrin, looking for Blizzy, wants to take rid of this Magnus before he gets his RP up, but he's living. Force staff to the high ground, and the turnaround from Dream. Looking for Saneko. Will find one, but the DKB pop from Notice will force him away, but they also got the knife on the back, so they do have the Dodrin. Storm Spirit held in place, and with the roots, it's going to be enough for HYDRA to get a second kill. And without a doubt, they all came to the rescue of Blizzy. They wanted to keep their Magnus alive, and he survives. The IO also
he gets That's the 4-step play. He saves himself. He knows what needs to happen, how he needs to play in this game, and Blizzy, he gets himself into a safe position. The second that the Magnus didn't die, that fight was over for Winstrike. Again, they understand how they need to fight, but it's not an easy thing to do. At least the Hawk is surviving, but for how long? At some point, this Lark will slip up, and when he does, Hydra will be waiting. When there's a Wukong's command, you just can't fight around it.
Mid.
They just focus it on the line.
Ascald in trouble. They've got the stuns, the finger, and that's just a freebie given for Winstrike.
And now they can go forward, Winstrike, I think. Without the Ember Spirit, they just can't win fights. We're gonna be seeing the Hawk immediately going for Zayats here.
He's got the pounce. He's even carrying his own dust because he doesn't want this Bane to get away.
Oh,
Now, that's actually a pretty good... Oh, look at them. They're just playing this. Oh, no. Okay, well, I guess that we're a bit confused there for a second. Waiting for maybe some move from HYDRA. They just lost track of them for a second. They don't know where they went.
The Hawk is gonna be needing to go to the doctor because some ankles have been broken.
Yep.
For sure.
They're seeing it at the
Okay,
Mirana, though.
Mirana.
Did you steal my ankles? Give me back my ankles! And he takes them.
You never felt more shift, did you?
Yep. So the Hawk, at least they get a kill. This is exactly what needs to happen. Winstrike, when they kill one hero, they need to be on the aggressive, and the Hawk, he understands this perfectly. That's why he's going so aggressively forward. He's not looking towards creeps anymore. It's all about getting those stacks up, and if he has like 15, he can definitely be more aggressive on the map.
No, spotted by the Hawk, gets the pounce away. He's got Jingu stacked up. Does have some mean right-click damage while he has those Jingu Masteries up, but HYDRA, Dodrin jumping, looking for the Bane, trying to get a quick kill, but the root connection from Ascald, beautiful RP, but he's pushed on the high ground, doesn't matter, they're gonna get the kill anyway. Dream being pushed away, the Hawk is slowly melting down this Monkey King, but that's still an Aegis. Ascald, meanwhile, he finds the connection onto Seneko, and notice his trouble. He is struggling to find any targets to hit. And this Slardar is just going to end up getting kited completely. He will BKB teleport away. And HYDRA is just going to let this one slide.
This is the problem for Winstrike. You know, as a Dota player, you're always gonna be in a situation where you see a good opening jump and you're gonna go for it. The problem with it here is that Winstrike's lineup, it doesn't work that way. It works poke and prod. Committing onto targets is a big mistake. You commit only if you know that you're gonna get it 100%. And they went for that Bane. They couldn't get him super fast. Blizzy with an RP almost saves the Storm's life, but in the end, it's still gonna be a fight for HYDRA, so Winstrike need to be a little bit more careful how they're choosing these fights.
Hey, on disc now for the Magnus, and he's not gonna die a second time without at least getting the chance to disengage first. So that is very big of an item for him. He's also disassembled, or at least kept it open for a little bit longer. Someone that randomly could pop the Hawk, the duels into the air by the Mirana. Got his ulti. He's untargetable for a little bit longer, so Dream's unable to close in the job. IO out tethering up their Slark. They're running at maximum movement speed.
Slark is very powerful right now.
Yeah,
very powerful. This is becoming a timer for HYDRA. Usually when you have a Magnus lineup, you don't think so, but if the Hawk continues surviving and he survives one big fight that the Winstrike come out ahead of, it's gonna be very hard.
Oh, they're gonna go for the attempt at least, and trying to get this Monkey King before he's respawning with his BKB, and he's also gonna get Zayats is the one to fall. They will take down Dream, and Winstrike finding to the Ember Spirit also held in place. And Ascald trying to get a quick sip out of there. He's also the holder of the gem. He's the beholder of the beauty.
No more remnants.
Okay, oh, they run away on the other direction. So they've got no idea about that. Blizzy, though, noticed he's high on his heels, looking for that Magnus, but no vision. Hoping to find a quick straggler.
I told you, Panda, this is becoming dangerous for the side of HYDRA because the Hawk is becoming a problem. If this is literally a 1 versus 5 game, you know? The others are there just to help him a little bit. The Hawk is the one playing it perfectly here, not dying a single time. Slark needs to keep it up. If the Hawk survives one more fight, HYDRA are going to be in such a bad spot. And we saw in the previous one, they can actually go on the Monkey King. The problem for HYDRA, again, you have the Monkey King, but you don't have that frontliner. That's something something that Winstrike had in the previous game. When you have like an SF, he's holding the front line, and there he has a BKB. They go for a Wukong's command or Boundless Strike. You turn the fight around, but here you don't have that hero. So the Hawk, he can go in and out as much as he can, and then when he senses blood, that's when they can strike.
That is true. I mean, the whole thing for HYDRA here too is they can't get their ultis in such manner that they were hoping for. Askel gonna get bashed up by Notice, gonna get bashed up again, and this Ember Spirit's got nowhere to run. The BKB's the pop as well. They will soak up the arrow, and Dream only does as much damage as he wants to, and it's not gonna be enough to slap that Slardar down. Winstrike move out with a quick kill and killing the Ember Spirit. He's gone for 70 seconds.
Yeah, that's an Ember that has an Aghanim Scepter that is dying. He really has to be a bit more careful. He's the main hero for HYDRA. He's the one that does massive amounts of AoE damage without much committal. And Winstrike, when they see that he's not on the map, that's when they're hunting. Look at the Hawk. He's not looking at creeps. He just wants to find heroes. And for now, he's just not going to be that lucky. But whoever gets in front of the Slark, he's not going to be waiting even a second, and he will try to kill them. So now for Winstrike, it's push out the lanes and go for a hunt. It only comes down to, can you win a fight on the opponent's part of the map? Because for now, they have been hunting them on their terms, but you still need to cross the river and catch HYDRA. That's how you win the game, and that's going to be another beast entirely.
31 minutes, 19 to 16 on the scoreboard, and as we looked at those graphs momentarily, they're very drastically flowing in the favor of Winstrike and HYDRA. They're in for some tough times. They've got to find a way. They've got to find that crack in Winstrike's armor. Right now it feels like there's none available. Muka hiding in the trees. Very scary position to be in, but doesn't get jumped on by the Lion. Denied rune by Zayats. And HYDRA smoking up. Monkey King reveals himself in bottom.
I have to say, Winstrike are evolving in this series. He's gonna be okay.
That was a small moment there. They could have just gone for a blink RP, but that Dark Pact, he knows it. He knows how well he needs to use it.
So you saw in the first first couple of minutes of the game, first few fights, Winstrike, when their smoke would pop, they would go forward and like, we can fight. Now they're understanding, guys, our draft, it doesn't work that way. We need to approach the fights carefully where the enemies are not ready. If they're ready to fight, HYDRA's team fight will always win. But if it's all around the place with the Slardar jumping one guy, the Slardar the other, that's where Winstrike are the strongest. And they saw close to the enemy triangle, our smoke pops, blink out on the line, get the hell away from there and just try to find a better position. Though HYDRA, they're gonna try to find a better position for themselves in the Roche Pit, and Winstrike going to fight there. It's gonna be a bit dangerous, but maybe they can make something happen as they did in the previous one. Seems like pushing the bottom tier 2 will be the call for them.
Yeah, you gotta go where the enemy sleeps. HYDRA, they're gonna take Roshan. Aegis and Shard heading away. Here the Shard looks to be Magnus. Do you have that TI spark once again in the air? See if it works out, though. Winstrike are ready for this. Smoke is going towards the triangle.
They need to hold the area, HYDRA, and wait for Winstrike. That's what you need
to
do.
Spider legs onto the high ground. Gets caught with a stun, but the Dark Pact will take it off of him. Lizzie looking for it. He's got the Horn Toss, and he's going to move him all the way back. The Feast Grip, it gets instantly cancelled, but it doesn't matter because they get the kill that they were looking for. Notice is the one who actually pops his BKB to TP himself to safety. Otherwise, that would have been another kill, but a beautiful play. And HYDRA, they don't take any second chances with that Slark, even using Fiend Script and everything onto the Dark Pact, but to make sure he doesn't escape.
This is the Hawk wanting to do more than it's actually needed, and he will be punished because of it. He actually went for a nice play, but looking at his items, this Slark, he's not tanky, right? So now he changes his items. He was thinking about going for a MKB to deal with the butterfly, but he will understand, I need more HP to survive. He basically died there, and he didn't get stunned at all.
Askel punished in bottom. That's what the Lion and the Storm Spirit, they managed to halt the push from HYDRA, but Dream is still willing to hit through this glyph. Continue hacking onto this tier 3 tower once they get an objective out of this. Looks like that's all they're gonna get though.
Ascol kind of getting caught multiple times in this game, and he's the one that is actually giving a chance to Winstrike. I have to say the rest of HYDRA are playing quite well, though. You know, it is his job to outpush the lanes. It is his job to go onto the hard places, so you can't really blame him. Still, he should be aware that he's being hunted every single time that he shows his face, and maybe should have died at least 1 or 2 times less in this one. Winstrike, of course, will immediately go for a smoke. This is not a smoke to gain ground. This is smoke to get kills. Considering that the Ember is dead, you want to go for a full-on fight right now.
Over here now.
They have an arcane rune as well, picked up on Dodrin. He's ready to go in. He's gonna pop it. They're gonna go for it. Dream, he's on the high ground, but they found Muka. He's got the Yules, he's got the Lotus Orb available. So he could keep Dodrin away for a little longer, but he's gonna save it onto the Monkey King. Keep Dream fighting for a tiny bit longer, but this Slark just keeps on hacking. Gets a couple stacks. He gets a couple stacks and they disengage. A buyback from Muka. And notice this meanwhile in the backlines. Can they... Oh! First hit bash from Dream into the face of his Slardar. No TP for you, sir.
Yep, Dream showing that he knows how to bash as well. It's not gonna be that bad of a fight for Winstrike. They kind of delayed the Aegis a bit. The idea of these fights is not to win it completely. It's to maybe get a kill or two and just delay the Aegis. But with the buyback of the Mirana HYDRA, I think they're ready to go forward. They might even use the Wukong's command to secure their access. That's gonna be what they do. Will Dodrin understand this and go for a zip to destroy these creeps before they get to the base? It seems like the answer will be no. And once they cross that line, right now, it's gonna be open season on their access. And HYDRA, Winstrike is not going to be stopping them right now.
Exactly. HYDRA can keep up this push. They will be able to secure the mid racks for themselves. Top is also open, even if there is no creep wave. Dream wants to go. The rest of the team was thinking about going maybe away, and Storm Spirit is now holding behind the tier 2 tower as Dream wants to keep on going. And he's got the right-click damage for it, so I feel like why not? No Slardar for 10. Is he going to stretch it all the way to the end?
Yeah, he will, and they allowed the creeps to cross that line in the mid lane. That's a big mistake from Dodrin.
Storm Aghanim's just ready. If they get a good jump, if they get the good connection, the Monkey King ulti does go through. Anyway, the 2-man stun followed up from the Lion as well. Monkey King still up with 900 HP plus the Aegis. The Hawk forced away. And looks like with that preliminary initiation, Storm Spirit completely drained out of mana. Has to wait in the fountain for a little bit. When do we see the ball lightning off? He's loading up the bottle. He wants to push it all the way, but there we go. Not just making some short jumps. HYDRA's already making their way out. And no casualties.
Yeah, no Wukong's command. Yeah, no Wukong's command. You have to get yourself out. That A on disc on the Ember Spirit, it did save his life, but now Ascol doesn't have it in the Hawk. He wants to go forward. If he catches Dream here, he might even kill him twice. He doesn't have the Quelling Blade to get him down from the trees, so because of it, HYDRA will keep their carry safe. His Aegis was expiring. That would have been awesome for Winstrike, but they don't get the connection, so they keep their access on the top lane alive. Only 1k gold deficit. This Slark could still be the strongest hero on the map, but again, he's very low in terms of HP. Panda, even if he gets that MKB, he needs to survive the initial burst from HYDRA, which might be hard to do. We'll see how well the Hawk can play this one. He needs to do everything perfectly in terms of mechanics if he wants to survive this fight. So one slip up, Slark is dead, and Winstrike, they will lose the game.
Also, what I'm looking at here is both the Slardar and the Slark both building into attack speed. We're looking for 2 moon shards. One for the Slark, another for the Slardar, plus the MKB on both ends. Realizing how important this kill on the Monkey King is, as he just said. It really comes down to all the right clicks connecting with those stun durations, because they only have so limited amounts of stuns. It's the Slardar constantly in the battle, and the Lion with the initiation. The Hawk. They caught a quick glimpse of a fishy around the area, but Slark's already out.
He's using his night vision to stay alive, to give some info to his team. The Hawk understands what kind of a role he has in this lineup. He has a role of doing everything. Give vision, kill heroes, tank, everything that is on him, and sometimes the pressure can get to you. So let's see if the star player of Winstrike can make it happen, but now he's being hunted.
Important here, Zayats, if he catches the Hawk off guard, but the Dark Pact is already popped, and the stun will come out from Dream. The RP follow-up from Blizzy as well. Zayats is trying to get there. He gets the feed script onto the Stark, but the IO save. They're going to push him away with the tether and the relocate. And Soneko, he's very alone right now, and he doesn't have any buddies around. Even Noticed, can't do much about him. And then we do have a buyback coming in. Force Majeure Soul coming in. Dodger with the BKB popped as well, trying to make some damage in with the Aeon Disc. Will pop off Ascol. Meanwhile, they're taking so many hits, but they're still surviving. HYDRA turn around with the Monkey King ulti, pushing them away. And HYDRA holding the high ground position. And look who I found. It's a Force Majeure IO, which will be quickly removed out of play. And Winstrike, they lose again. Another hero. But Slark, he's only picked up 8 stacks of Essence Shift, and it's not enough for a reinitiation.
Actually, nice fight for Winstrike. Despite them not getting any kills, they're showing that they can definitely play against HYDRA. Even if the Slark gets caught, relocate out is a possibility. The Hawk making a mistake, but he does have his teammates to help him. Once he does get the Monkey King bar, that's when the Monkey King dies. Killing you with your own weapon, that's not something that you want to allow to happen. But this Monkey King, very soon, he's gonna be facing against his own bar, and this Butterfly is just not gonna be that strong any longer. So the Hawk, he might become an even bigger issue next time around. This Monkey King, he gets caught and he will die.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Like, even if the buyback comes out from Soneko, I'm a bit worried about Winstrike. Like, how can they take another fight exactly the same? Because then they won't have the Lion available. He's also so weak. Like, such a squishy target. Such an easy one for HYDRA to quickly blow up out of the way. And that's one piece of crowd control left to worry about for HYDRA. Because then it's all about the Slark and the Slardar, basically. Or Slark only technically just does one quick jump and pounce on the root. And then you've got the Vortex from the Storm Spirit. But eliminating this Lion is key priority for HYDRA. And once again, they've spotted Roshan is up. Does Winstrike know about it? Because Stream feels like he wants to start. He will. They don't have any vision.
This is going to be the third Roche. This is going to be the third Roche going the way of HYDRA, and it has a refresher shard. Given that the Magnus already has a refresher, we might be seeing a triple RP in the next fight. Slark would love that refresher shard, the double ulti or quadruple ulti, considering that he has a shard as well. It would be amazing, but Winstrike, they're not going to be finding this. They bought the Monkey King on the Slark. I was about to say it's a tough decision, save the buyback or buy the MKB. He buys the MKB, which means a lost fight for Winstrike is definitely a lost game and a lost series. So the Hawk really trusting himself and his teammates to pull him out if push comes to shove.
And looks like the Hawk is the one being pushed right now, but he's able to ulti and bounce himself to safety. Blizzy bullying him a little bit.
You know, in any time in this game, we didn't see the Hawk use his ulti that fast, right? He understands now if he dies, the pressure is on, and this pressure might actually be the thing that makes him, slip up.
And no buyback, which he really also knows that there's no... I mean, you can't do any slip-ups anymore. Quick jump onto Dream, gets the Vortex out. That's also the range rack's fallen. Blade Force, the Hawk is going to go for a couple of hits. He's going to get Abyssal Blade up right away. He even puts down that little puddle of shadow. But still, unable to stay there for too much longer. Monkey King still hacking away the melee racks and looking for Notice. Goes for the stun, but he misses. He can't stop this push from happening, and HYDRA are now warping around. There's a lot of creeps pushing in bottom, but I don't think they need those to just go straight. Can they go for backdoor? No, that's a full HP tower, so they're just going to go in the triangle and wait, I guess. However, Winstrike's not going to let them. The Hex onto Dream. The two-man Vortex onto the back by Dodrin. Looking for some kills. Trying to get Muka killed, but there's still a gem. The RP from Blizzy. Dream is there as well with the Battle Strike. And another RP will follow from Blizzy. Can he get the kills on Winstrike? And he does. Manage to get to Soneko and Force Majeure. Dodrin on the run, but he doesn't have any mana left. And this Storm Spirit will follow up as well. But the buybacks are coming in. Notice still in the battle. The Hawk is also being pushed around. The save from the IO barely keeps the Sark alive. As Sark is back to full HP. Notice will die. They will also take down Muka. Dream looking for a turnaround now onto Dahak, and it's a 1v1 pretty much here. And now Dodrin looking for the opening. Notice coming in from down from the low ground as well, and now forcing the Monkey King away. Zayat still holding at the back. He doesn't have his Fiend's Grip anymore, but he does have Nightmare. And look at the hits from Dahak. It's enough to break him down. They also got the connection now onto the Bane by Notice. Notice just controlling Bane at the same time as they're both focusing on the Dream. Ascol with a turnaround with a beautiful play from Blizzy and Ascol. And they will make sure that they will get the kills on Dahak and Force Majeure. Force Dodrin back to the base. And Noticed on the run. He's retreating. Heavy losses from Winstrike. And that just might be game for HYDRA.
Yeah, the Slark didn't. Oh, he gets his buyback now. There it is. It's not over.
It's not over.
Yet, Panda. That was an amazing fight. Winstrike, it looked for a second like Slark was gonna crush them all, but the Bane preparing the terrain for Dream to come back, and he still had another Wukong's Command, another BKB, and the Storm Spirit not having enough mana to follow through there. It made sure that the Dream could stand his ground and win the fight against the Slark. But Winstrike, now they might have to use the Slark buyback. They would prefer not to, but let's see if HYDRA is gonna be able to push it out. That was just a beautiful team fight coming out. So many spells, and the Slark surviving once there. He even got the Shadow Dance. He died inside of the Shadow Dance. It was half a second before he would heal enough, and then the turnaround might have been devastating for HYDRA, but Winstrike still showing signs of life. The problem is no more tier 2 on the bottom lane, so you have absolutely no map control outside of your base. How do you get out? It's gonna be super hard, which means HYDRA can choose their fights quite easily, and with the Wukong's Command just continue pushing this bottom tower until they have the mega creeps, and that should secure the game for him.
For Winstrike, things are definitely looking a bit grim. We had a moment where we thought that the Slark might just be the scariest hero on the board, but right now, with his buyback being up, once he has his buyback back up, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with, and they need to keep an eye open and pay attention to the Huck when he buybacks. How does HYDRA react to it? Is that the goal they're looking for?
You know, the problem with the Slark is when you buy back, you lose all of your stacks. So it's not really the best buyback hero. It is keeping you in the game, but he's the one that has to go in and out. If Slark dies first in a fight and then buybacks, that's okay. But the problem is the Slark usually won't die first in a fight. He'll usually use all of his spells, and then even if he buybacks, it's just not going to be that dangerous. So we'll see how well Winstrike can play this one, but for now, they're confined in their base. In HYDRA, they will find an opening at some point. Let's see, will they go just straight up in? Given that they have the Refresher Orb on the Monkey King, they can definitely go and take the Raxes. No glyph available on Winstrike. I'm not sure if HYDRA are aware of this.
Blizzy is the one that they're relying on right now. All they need is one good play, and they almost find him. They push him halfway. The Ravage stun, though, to the back line. Beautiful 5-man catch from Dodrin, but it's not enough necessarily. Dream is at half HP. He pops a Refresher. He's got another BKB available, and Science is dropping control 1 is HP. And meanwhile, Winstrike, they're just disengaging from the Monkey King ult. They don't want to fight in it for a second time. Notice does gets caught at the same time. Dahak has already got 30 stacks for himself. RP connecting on the back, but again, Soneko with these beautiful catches with 3 men caught. And he's on another Ravage. Dodrin with another jump. Is it going to be enough, though? They can't kill the Magnus. They can't kill the Magnus. He's still alive. Dahak on the edge of this ulti. Zayat, he's got nothing left but another 2-man route again. Dahak, he's got this. He needs to win this one, and he's being pushed around. He's going to take one. 28 stacks of Essence Shift. Is it going to be enough, though, as Dream? And now again, with another Boundless Strike and a jump from Ascol. It will be enough. The Slark has been taken down. He does have a buyback, and HYDRA, they have to regroup once again as they see the buyback come out from Dahak, and now there's only one tier 4 tower. They're stacking up, going for the Nightmare play, trying to get the stuns, but the hexes are there. Can they get this one? The stun from Soneko onto the Lotus Orb, and again, they will take down the Lion, and it's all Dahak versus the world. 1v4. I don't think he can do it, but he's still going to go and try for it. Does get rooted up. He does get the Dark Pact to remove it as well. But there, look at this guy. He's just hacking so hard with the help of Force Majeure, doing a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to get rooted up again, and another Dark Pact being used, and he's going to get rooted again by Ascol. He's just preventing him from taking part in this defense as this Ancient is falling. Slark is dropping low, and with Sunstrike, with Winstrike losing Dahak, it's going to be GG. That's all of Winstrike gone, and HYDRA clean out a 2-0 series against Winstrike.
It was a classic, the Hawk running in and saying, why are you attacking my throne? Fight me. And HYDRA, they look at him, okay, we can kill you as well. They finish him off and then end the game with all of the heroes on the side of Winstrike being dead. The Hawk, I have to praise this guy. He really played an awesome Slark game, but the problem is that the rest just weren't contributing as much to this game. HYDRA, in the end, they will be the victors. And I have to say that this series, they have been looking better. Winstrike in this game, even though they were close to victory a few times, it's all on the back of the Hawk not making mistakes. You will slip up at some point. We are all human. This guy is not a robot like Paparazzi, who basically doesn't slip up ever, but he will make a mistake, and you saw a few of those. HYDRA utilized them, and in the end, they won the game. Just an awesome performance coming out from them, understanding how they need to fight, never running into their opponents like madmen, always holding the area, despite not having a big frontliner. They made a way to make this lineup work. So HYDRA, all props to them. Winstrike, they'll have to take this loss despite being a very hyped up team from us. They'll still not get the win.
For sure, that was absolute battle. And in the end, it just proves to be that there's one team. My UI is broken there for a second. There we go, fixed up for a second. Winstrike are the better team. Sorry, HYDRA are the better team as a whole, but for Winstrike, they are not out of this entire equation, because still, like the stuff we talked about with the pre-drafts, with the pre-studios, about how far can this team really stretch out to be as a potential top 3 team. But with this show they showed today against HYDRA, they had their moments. They were definitely not out of this as a whole.
I have to say their drafts were hard to execute, right?
Yeah.
These are tier 1 drafts on Winstrike. The first one, extremely hard, and if you make one slip up, you're gone. This here relies too much on the Slark. You have no team fight. You're relying on actually getting heroes one by one, and forcing an enemy into that kind of a fight, it's not the easiest thing to do. Winstrike, they did make some slip ups, but I think next time when they play a lineup like this, HYDRA, they're gonna give them a run for their money.
I mean, we're off to a pretty great first week as a whole. We still got one more series, not today. Will be played out on Sunday. That's going to be Bait versus CIS Rejects. That's going to be played out at 1 p.m. EET, so 12 o'clock CET local time. We're not going to be casting that one, but what do you think? Are we going to see Bait on the board? That's probably one of their hardest opponents for the season.
We looked at Bait versus Gambit. I think they have an idea what they do in the first 15-20 minutes, but then it becomes hard for them to actually. They have a call. We need to take this tower, but they just approach it with simplicity. I think CIS Rejects are gonna be having an easy time on December 5th. I don't want to take it away from Bait, but they just haven't been showing us that much. And CIS Rejects coming in with all of these big names, it's not going to be an easy matchup for Bait, and I would be surprised if they take a game off of them.
I would like to see that happen, for sure. It's going to be a difficult challenge for them, because we already saw some of the best teams of this region play up against each other, as Winstrike and HYDRA. And of course, earlier on during this week with CS Rejects against Nemiga yesterday, clean up 2-0. Was a bit shaky, but still able to get that victory. And of course, Gambit and Bait played out. So one more game for East Europe in the second division played out on Sunday. Me and Harry Freak, we shall return next week again. We will be casting on Monday and on Friday, so the same schedules for us. So I think without further ado, I think it's time to thank all of the audience who've been around. We've had a great time. Hope you guys have also been enjoying these great Eastern European games that we've had, because we surely have. We love this region. We've loved these games so far. They're wonky in their own way, but they're special in their own way. And that's what makes this a fun region to cast as well and follow the games. Thank you so much, Harry Freak, for tuning in this week for the casts. And without further ado, take care of yourselves, everybody, and enjoy some more dotes coming up from some other regions. I think we have SA starting up in a bit, so might as well go look at what's happening with No Ping versus Hokori. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Good night, and bye-bye.